looking at you, Stacy. Y'all set a schedule and said we're gonna meet up at 4 o'clock, and it becomes 10 minutes after 4, and they are nowhere around. Then you call them, and they have the nerves to get a little attitude. I'm on my way, but we're supposed to meet at 4 o'clock. Every day, Sheila, at 4:20 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, I go pick up Michelle from her job, and I'm in between. I got the radio running because I'm still there, but I'm not there. And I call her on my way to get her, and she says, I'll be downstairs when you get here. Dick and Roach, I have to pull the car over, turn the car off because she's never downstairs on. Dick walked me to my car. She's never on time. And then watch this, Sam. Bernard, when I call her, and then I said, baby, I said, I'm coming. But I'm so glad, Yolanda, that God is always on time. Y'all gonna help me preach this. I'm glad he's always on time. Old folks said, may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. And what I come to believe, Sam, the one reason that he's always on time is because he controls time. Okay, he's on time because he controls time, and only thing can happen on time because he's on time. But all time is controlled by him, but whatever happens is in his time. He's always on time. And as I said, as the old folks said, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. But Mama Pat, even though he's always on time, his on time may not be the answer that we want, but it's an on time answer. Because his answer sometimes could be, wait a minute. His answer could be, not right now. And watch this. This is the big one, Sheila. His answer could be no. Because if we be honest with ourselves, we not really comfortable when God says no. Because we expect God's answer to everything that we want, or everything that we need. We expect his answer to be yes, but sometimes God does say no. We was in a discussion last night. I told Michelle, get wrong, that everything I asked for, her answer ought to be. Her answer ought to be yes, Brother Bernard. But she said, even then, she said no. Yeah. But then sometimes in life you realize when God said no about something, later on you thanking God for the no. Because he's always on time. Let's look at the text and let me get you out of here. Jesus ministering like he always does, and he talks to some people, and he tells them what they need to do, and then he got into the ship, got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. And can I stop right there for just a minute, saying, what would happen if we, as God's disciples, that we really follow him? Y'all ain't said nothing in here. What would really happen if? Don't even let's not even take it as the whole New Morning Star Baptist Church. Let's take it as individuals. Let's take it as just ourselves. What would really happen if you? What would really happen if me? If I would really follow watch the text, baby. They didn't know where he was going. They just knew he got in the ship, and wherever he's going, that's where I want to go. But we don't really want to follow him. Yeah. But you see the text. He gets in the ship, and the disciples follow him. And you gotta remember. So these disciples, they at first when Jesus called on them, they had jobs and stuff. Huh? Come on, Bible studies. Come on. What do you call them on the radio station? Come on, my Bible scholars. Yeah, come on, my Bible scholars. But they left to follow Jesus. Can I drop something in your spirit? It's some stuff that you gotta leave to follow. It's even some people that you gotta leave to follow Jesus. Watch the text. I don't want to hold you long. But they get in this boat. And they following Jesus. But now Jesus, he kind of goes off by himself and takes a nap. All right. He goes to sleep. And while he sleeps, just out of the blue, he wrote, here comes a stone. But Jesus, he's asleep. You realize that sometimes in our lives it seems like everything is going good, everything going peachy creamy, the wife acting right, the husband's acting right, the kids acting right, bills are paid, everything looks like it's going well, and then all of a sudden, there is a storm. I think it was Friday. Wasn't it Friday, baby? I picked up Michelle from work Friday. The sun was shining. It was real hot out there, Sheila. But as soon as I pulled up, raindrops started falling. And then Michelle, she gets in the car and she said, I think I only got hit by 3 drops. But because the drop, it just all of a sudden, it just started to rain. And then by the time we got to the next light, well, that lets us know that we can't control the weather. We can't control the storms that happen in our lives. We just got to trust God. Why do I got to trust him? Because he's always on time. And watch it. He's always on time. But what? He's in the ship, sleep. The storm comes. But he's in the ship asleep. Y'all can get wait a minute. Let me go this way. Even though we know he's an on-time God, he's always right there. The Bible says, lo, I'm with you even to the end of the world. Well, he's always right there because watch the text. He's in the ship. The storm raging, but he said he's in the ship. Folks getting on your nerves at work. Working crazy shift, but why? He's in the ship. And I drop it in your spirit that whatever you go through, whatever the problem is, don't you get discouraged because he's in the ship. Yeah. Don't you get discouraged because he's right there with you in the storms. He's right there with you when you go through. He's right there. I gotta get you out. Point 2, that's point 1 there. That he's right there. Point 2, he wants us to ask for his help. Because now we know he knows all things. Well, don't get it twisted. Even though he was asleep down in the ship, Brother Manan, that he was down there asleep in the ship, he knew what was going on. Because he knows what's going on before we know what's going on. But even what he wants us to ask. He wants us to ask for his help. Watch the text. The disciples, they getting all scared, nervous, and they running around the ship. They running around the ship trying got to find Jesus. Wait a minute, I said something. Sometimes life gets so good for us. Sometimes things are going so well for us, we forget where Jesus is. Can I preach it here? Sometimes things get so well for us, we stop coming to church. And I'm doing this, but do you realize that he's still there? Oh, watch the text. They running around, and they find Jesus asleep, and they wake him up. You ever in the midnight hour got on your knees and started praying, and you going through this crocodile tears falling from your eyes, and you really think you woke Jesus up, but he already was there. He already knew what you was going through, and then what he did, he inclined his ear. I wish I had some help here. He inclined his ear to you. He inclined to listen to your cry. And not only he inclined to listen, he already knew what he was going to do about it. But all he was waiting for you to ask. Watch this, Delon. Don't you tell Michelle, she's busy. Act like she's busy. And maybe you start talking to her so she won't hear what I say. But see, sometimes I know that Michelle wants me to do something, but Sheila, I won't do it unless she asks. All right. I said it, kid. Sometimes I know. I think it's on Tuesday, like Lynette. I know she wants me to take out the garbage and put it on the curb. Yeah, I ain't gonna do it because sometimes it just feels good when they ask. And then watch this. Should have write this down. It's good when y'all ask and not tell. You gonna walk me to my car. because sometimes Christ just wants us to ask the Savior to help you. Ask him. And has anybody here ever asked him and he made a way? Has anybody here ever asked him and he done something for you? Has anybody here ever asked him? They wake him up. And what? This is us. It's just not the disciples. This is us. We know that God's got all power. We know Jesus can do all things. But then they say, look, Jesus, you gonna let us die out here? We know that God delivered us before through this and through this, but then why are we in this situation? You gonna let us die? Shirley, you're gonna walk me into my car because I'm make it a little personal. You're gonna walk me to my car, Shirley. She said no, D. But sometimes I be talking to Mama Pat, and Mama Pat, I'm like, Mama Pat, I need a check for him. I ain't got the money to give you a check. But because God delivered before, he gonna work that thing out. We gonna be able to pay the bill. All these people ain't signed up for the bus, and we gotta pay for this bus. God's gonna work it out because he done it before. He'll do it again. We just gotta ask. We just gotta ask the Savior. Okay, point one, let me get you out. Point one, we gotta realize that he's always right there. Whatever we're going through, he's right there. And I know I'm gonna make this statement, and a lot of theologians gonna argue with what I'm saying, but because even when we doing some mess that we shouldn't do, he right there. That's right. He right there, and he purpose no better. What man? He's right. Then not only he's right there, he's waiting for us to ask. They kind of asked, are you going to leave us here to perish? Are we going to die? And watch how calm Jesus is. And even as he was calm in this situation, do you realize in your storm, he's just that calm? He gets up, makes his way up to the boat, makes his way up to the first floor, and he speaks, and he says, peace, be still. The waves obeyed him. The wind obeyed him. And you know, the only thing that won't obey God is us. True. He tells the dog to bark. The dog said, woof, woof. He tells the cow to move. The cow move. He tells us to love one another. He tells us to treat one another right. But even through our mess up, even through the storms of life, he's always on time. He's always on time. I don't know who's in here that's going through a storm right now, because as they always say that you in a storm, you just got out of a storm, or you on your way to a storm, or whatever stage you in. I want to drop in your spirit that he's always on time. Because if he allows you to stay in the storm a little bit longer, he's allowing you in that storm for you to get stronger. And he allowing you in that storm for somebody else to see him work in that storm through you. Well, because of that, you have to stand on assurance that he is always an on-time God. And because he's on time, what we need to do is celebrate even in the storm. Somebody said, don't wait till the battle's over. Just praise him right now, because you know he's going to bring you through, because he's always on time. But when you're going through, don't you get discouraged. When you're going through, and Vinny read James today, it's going to come. Trial is going to come. Tribulation is going to come. It's not a maybe, it's going to come. But remember and stand firm on he's always on time. Somebody asks you, what you waiting for? Waiting on the Lord. Because he's always on time. But wait a minute, the LGE bill is brown. He's always on time. But the doctor said this. He's always on time. Even my friends told me that I wasn't going to make it. He's always on time. But don't you give up on God, because he hasn't given up on you. Well, you just remember that he's always right there. And then remember, all you have to do is ask. And then he'll come and say, peace, be still. Anybody in here can be a witness to your neighbor and tell him that he spoke peace in my life? Come on, can you be a witness to your neighbor? I was messed up from the floor up. I didn't even like myself at sometimes, but he made a way. He brought peace in my life. What a God we serve. I'm done. I just wanted to talk to y'all today.